I'm half drunk and I'm about to get fired. Fantastic!
Rockstar is one of those companies that if you have their name on your resume and you're applying for a job in video game development or anything that surrounds that, that is a bonus. But then of course you also have a lot of downsides that come along with it. I'm sure a lot of you remember the 2018 controversy Rockstar faced. During the later stages of Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar faced quite a bit of controversy when a lot of their employees spoke out about crunch time. In this instance, you had a ton of people working overtime, and as to be expected, this will put a lot of pressure on those employees. And it's by far the most common complaint I've seen from people employed by Rockstar. Now, in Rockstar's defense, they have made significant improvements to this. Some of the people working on Red Dead Redemption 2 were offered full-time employment after the crunch time. Now, like I said, this was a big problem, to the extent that even one of the Hauser brothers responded to it. Of course, you do have some people on social media sites like Twitter who attempt in any way they can to justify this. Some of them even mock it. They're like, ooh, a bunch of people have to be away from their families and work overtime. Yeah, let me play my molecule violin for that. I don't know, you have some assholes on social media who've taken that approach to it. You know, it doesn't really refute any of the concerns people have. The people employed by Rockstar Games are human beings. Maybe, and this is just me, but maybe they should be entitled to fair compensation and reasonable hours. Between me having to wait another year for a Rockstar game and me getting the game sooner at the expense of a bunch of people suffering, yeah, I think I'll just wait. Now, like I said, it seems like Rockstar has made some significant improvements. You see, that's good. I'm fine with that. Kudos to Rockstar for making some improvements and responding to the controversy. But my concern has to do with the catalyst for all of this. Okay, so have a look at this. These are the stats for Rockstar Games on Glassdoor.com. Now, the last time I checked, I saw 133 reviews on the site. You can see that the average rating is 3.8 out of 5 stars. 73% of people employed by Rockstar would recommend employment to a friend, 81% approve of the CEO, and 59% have a positive business outlook. If you looked at this and this alone, you might be given the impression that working for Rockstar Games is okay, so this is the overall trend. You can see that by the end of 2018, you had a huge decline. Office morale and employment contentment basically plummeted in late 2018. So what happened in late 2018? Oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 crunch time. So it goes from an average of 3.5 and plummets. It possibly dipped below 3.0 stars. But then we saw a bunch of people talking about the efficacy of crunch time. And so, of course, Rockstar had to remedy the situation. And so it went from 3.0 up to 3.7. You see, this is good, but it seems like people are beginning to leave negative reviews yet again. Okay, so I've categorized all of these complaints in 3 categories. First off, you have, and I you not, this is actually something that is more common than I expected, bullying. So number 1 is bullying, number 2, crunch, and number 3, culture. Okay, so let's have a look at some reviews. I worked at Rockstar Games full-time for more than 8 years. This place expects everything of you and gives nothing in return. Work-life balance doesn't exist. Salary is really low, even factoring in bonuses. Bullying management. Your work will not be appreciated. Crunch time is really rough. Working ridiculous hours. Often a negative environment filled with bullies who think they are better than everyone else, and because they've been there for years, they can tread all over you and force you to do things, and if you refuse, then they raise the issues to higher authority and can lead to meetings about performance issues. So here's what they say to management. Gamers aren't happy with us lately. Time working needs cutting. All employees should be treated equally. 6 colleagues have left due to stress. Let us have more holiday. Stop making us guilty for not working. Voices need to be heard more. Care for your new members equal. Less crunch pressure, more praise. Classic bullying needs to stop. Low salary, no overtime pay, outdated methods, no real benefits for working other than small discounts in the clothing store. The events are not fun and can't talk about it outside of work. One of their HR people is a bully. Bullying should not be a thing, period. But it should definitely not be a thing in an office setting. You know, you're there to make money. You're not there to earn the respect of assholes who pick on others. Here's somebody who was employed by Rockstar for more than 3 years. They describe it as a bad primary school. Most of the people are bullying new people, asking what they've done before, etc., sometimes insulting them without any reason. A lot of overtime and the salary is low compared to the minimum of 50 hours a week. Many promises are unkept. Advice to management: treat employees better, more salary, better working conditions. CEO and other upper employers should treat newcomers better instead of bullying them. Overtime was mandatory until the media outcry. Even after that, if you choose not to do it, you were seen as less of a good employee. No trust to QA testers. We're not allowed to talk and communicate with the big boys, basically the developers at other studios, and only a lead can do that, as we're seen to be low, I guess. Your ideas and opinions about things don't matter at all. If you are sick, don't be. Don't expect to get anywhere higher up. Okay, so people, especially new employees, are getting bullied. That is insane. You know what usually causes this? Oftentimes, those who pick on others are picked on themselves. And sometimes they're stressed out. And so they take that out on other people. Now, just to be clear, that's not an excuse. I'm not saying that that vindicates someone who bullies other people. I mean, I keep hammering this point home, but in an office setting, this is not okay. Alright, let's move on to the second category, crunch. And by the way, I could really easily dedicate an entire video to this alone. I think we all have some basic understanding of what crunch time is, so I'm just gonna quickly mention some examples, and hopefully that'll tie into the point I want to make with this video. Pros: most coworkers were helpful and friendly. IT gets you everything you need hardware-wise, quickly. Cons: heavy technical debt and lack of organization. Very long periods of crunch. Low pay given the cost of living in the area. Lack of vision and ability to say no. Need to focus on making the core gameplay fun rather than adding another unpolished vestigial feature. Advice to management: make people go home and get real with the pay. Crunch causes humans to create more bugs and worse solutions. That means worse product and project delays. I like this one. Advice to management: you want me to give advice to the Rockstar management? Lol GG. I have seen some people on social media say that, well, you don't have to do anything when it comes to crunch time. You know, if you're employed by Rockstar and they tell you, hey, now's crunch time, you don't have to stay there, you can just go home. If you want to work late, then that's on you. Yeah, legally, yes, but if you want to have any chance in hell of getting permanent employment, or being on good terms with the other people around the office, or in some instances, not having other people around the office question your choice. Aside from all of that, yeah, there's no pressure at all. Now, the final category we have is culture, and I believe this goes hand in hand with crunch and bullying. The culture around the office seems to be a mixed bag. Some people are lucky, but others are not. Rockstar has a problem with a lot of unhappy employees. When it comes to the company culture, the setting of the office, the most common complaints I've seen so far is number 1, stress. Number 2, crunch time. Stressful people who are tired and unhappy are way more likely to pick on others. It's not just a matter of people working late or crunch time or anything in between. The problem is what that leads to. It leads to a setting where a bunch of people get picked on for just being lower on the company ranking. And so a lot of people around the office adopt this attitude of, basically, I'm above you. I get paid more. I've been here longer. And so why should I do crunch time? You should do crunch time because I'm better than you. I shouldn't have to put up with this. You should. This has to change. And based on what we saw with the crunch controversy, people have to acknowledge that this is a problem. The best bet we have in dealing with this is by talking about it and raising awareness. Okay, so let's go back to the overall stats. Mid to late 2018, Rockstar hits the f***ing pedal to the metal. Crunch time is at a max, and so happiness among employees tanked. And then the controversy happened. The higher-ups at Rockstar Games reacted to this and they said, okay, we have to do something about this. Fully they did. Things get better and better and better, and then it starts declining again. In all fairness, it's only been a few months, but keep in mind, this happened when crunch time occurred. And so when that happens, will history repeat itself? My money would be on yes. I'm just gonna put it this way, if GTA 6 is the next game to be released, then yeah, you can bet your ass there's gonna be a lot of crunch, and you're gonna see a lot of unhappy employees. You know, Rockstar, I like your games. I think they're fantastic, but I don't think the quality of your games or the money they generate in any way justifies this. People have more value than this, especially those who make the games you sell. They're not machines that make entertainment on demand, they're human beings. So please view them as such. Recognize that and do something about this. Anyway, that's it for this video. You folks, as always, stay classy. Peace.